For the first time since 2002, the Renner Monarchs are not playing for the State A Amateur Championship. The last time the Yankton Tappers won a title, it came at Renner's expense in 2003. Today's championship opponent, the Sioux Falls Brewers, have yet to win a championship in 3 previous trips to the title game. They knocked Renner out yesterday and look to land an early knockout blow today as the Brewers get going in their first at bat in the first inning. Jose Martinez with a drive to left. He's out, but that's good enough to score James Borges, who just beats the throw, and the Brewers would lead 2-0 through 2. Yankton actually trailed 5-0 before responding in the third. Mason Townsend hits him where the infielders ain't, and the first run on the board for the Tappers, and they would keep it up. Nick Davis had a great tournament. He gets a single to left. Nate Robertson will slide home. 3-spot gets Yankton within 2 at 5-3. Davis also homered in this game. Brewers weren't going to let up, though. In the 4th inning, it's the catcher T.J. Miller bouncing one through. Ian Strum coming home, and he just gets in there. The Brewers took a 10-7 lead into the last of the 9th inning, and this would be the clincher. A pop-up back to the pitcher, and for the first time as the Sioux Falls Brewers, in their 4th attempt, they win the State Amateur Championship 10-7. Very satisfying for a group that was pretty sick of being the bridesmaids.
A lot of years of hard work and an emotional win. These guys they're all like family, and they work their tails off. A lot of years of runner-up.
Well, a very late start for the State B title game thanks to Sioux Falls and Yankton playing for nearly 3 hours. Of course, that's nothing compared to how late Garrettson went last night, waiting out a 3-hour weather delay and beating the defending champs Canova 5-0 at a little after 1 a.m. They're facing Alexandria for all the marbles this afternoon. This one's flying by, scoreless in the 4th inning. We will have highlights and reaction at 10 o'clock. After falling back to 2nd place behind Cleveland in the AL Central for the first time since April earlier this week, Minnesota has surged back in front, winning 4 of 5 to go back into first place with a 2.5-game lead. Now, the Indians did beat the Yankees today, so Twins need to finish a 4-game sweep of the Rangers to keep that perch atop the division. Their final game ever at the artist formerly known as the Ballpark at Arlington. Texas getting a new indoor stadium next year. And Marwin Gonzalez could care less. See, it's a 2-run double in the first. Minnesota out to a 2-0 lead. In the 6th inning, that lead now at 3-2. And look at Jake Cave in right field. Yeah, he ain't caving in. Great diving catch to keep Minnesota up a run. However, in the 7th inning, the trade acquisition from San Francisco, Sam Dyson, still wondering if he ever actually came over from San Francisco because he gives up a bomb to Shin-Soo Choo. That ties the game up at 3. However, in the 8th inning, the Twins have the bases loaded with 2 outs. And this is why Jorge Polanco is an all-star. He clears the bags with an RBI double. That makes it 6-3, and that's currently where we stand in the bottom of the 8th. Minnesota, if they win, they keep their 2.5-game lead. As the state amateur baseball tournament concludes, the eyes of Mitchell start to turn toward football season with Dakota Wesleyan looking to bounce back from a rare bad year. The Tigers open the season a week from Thursday night in Madison at Dakota State, looking to end a 3-game losing streak against their arch rivals. Last year's 27-18 loss to the Trojans at Joe Quintal Field was the first of 6 in a winless home season on their way to a 2-9 campaign. The program's first losing year in nearly a decade now, though they'll have several explosive players like that guy, Luke Loudenberg and Spencer Negebauer back. The Tigers will be pretty young at every other spot, which doesn't bother head coach Ross Simple as much as you might think, since he doesn't want his team to be intimidated by their tough GPAC schedule or memories of last season.
Sometimes being young, it's an advantage for you. You don't know what you don't know. And if we don't tell, obviously every game in this league is a game that you got to be ready for, but some of our guys don't even know where, Morningside College is. That's fine with me. That's great. I won't tell them until we get there.
And we'll have plenty more on the Tigers as well as all of our college and prep teams Tuesday night in our annual Gridiron Preview Show with features and analysis to get you ready for kickoff in 2019. That's Tuesday night right here on KDLT at 6:30. Finally, a couple former Jackrabbit teammates had good nights in a pair of professional football leagues. Zach Zenner caught a 5-yard touchdown pass and ran 3 times for 17 yards in the Detroit Lions preseason loss at Houston. Meanwhile, in the Canadian Football League, Jake Winicky had the best day of his rookie year with Montreal, hauling in 7 passes for 52 yards and his 4th touchdown of the season in the Alouettes' overtime win at Calgary. Again, we'll have highlights from that State B Amateur Championship game coming up tonight at 10, as well as the Canaries hosting the first of 3 with Cleburne. We'll get you all caught up at 10 and get you all caught up one more time when we come back.